Hey guys, welcome back. It's your boy Manny. Welcome to DFS Zone, your source for daily fantasy sports lineups for the NFL, NBA, and MLB. And before I proceed any further, like I usually ask guys, I appreciate a like on the video. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe down below. And do not forget to put on your notifications. This way you do not miss any of my daily uploads. Today is Saturday, April the 7th, 2018. We have a 5-game slate today on the NBA. Recap last night. Man, I told you guys yesterday that the game of the day was going to be Cleveland versus Philadelphia, and it was surely that and then some. It was probably one of the best games I've seen all year. For the Cleveland Cavaliers to come back the way they did after they were like pretty much being trounced in the first half, it's an incredible thing, and this is what makes basketball so exciting. And this is also what makes a game that could be 20-25 point deficit could just disappear just like this, with a little defense, couple of steals, and then just hitting some big buckets and getting hot. And that's exactly what happened here, and it went all the way down to the wire. It couldn't have been any better of a game, and this is what we got in store for ourselves, guys, for the rest of the next 4 or 5 days that are left of this NBA season for these teams that are battling for playoff spots. And not only that, it's just going to roll over into the playoffs, and we're going to see some exciting playoff play this coming month, and I am looking very much forward to it. So let's just dive in on some of the key games to focus on today. Obviously, to me, I'm going to get to the game of the day in a moment. Milwaukee, New York, very important game for Milwaukee. As we all know, Milwaukee is just trying to fight to stay in there in the playoff hunt. They only have a half-game lead from the 7th spot from the 8th seed Wizards, and they're in the playoffs. It's just a matter of where they're going to be at. And right now, definitely want to go in the playoffs with a little bit of momentum, and right now they have not been playing that well. They have no Giannis today, so that is very, very big key there. But they're playing against New York, who is not that good of a team defensively in some areas. And New York is playing a lot of their young kids right now, even though they did play well last night and they beat up on someone, New York. I still do believe Milwaukee will pull this game out. They have no choice. They really got to step it up. So with no Giannis, obviously we know Bledsoe and Middleton are the two key guys today. Look out for Malcolm Brogdon. There might be a possibility he plays. If he does, he'll get some minutes, and that will help out and alleviate some of the, pressure on Bledsoe and Middleton. You can also see Jabari Parker get a little bit more time on the floor as well to make things happen, because we know he's talented enough. And New York is a little bit more weaker up front than they are in the backcourt. In the backcourt, they have gotten better over the last couple of weeks. In the last month, I would say their rankings have gone up higher. As I've read to you guys before, they were once one of the worst teams, and now they're a little bit better defending there. But they definitely are weak up front in the center spot and at the 4 spot. So there's a possibility for a play on Mr. Jabari Parker. Moving on, Brooklyn, Chicago. Good game here as far as like maybe even a possible stack here, and just focusing on just this game alone for you guys out there. I would consider that as well, because Brooklyn is a high-scoring team, fast-paced team. Chicago usually obliges if they play a team like Brooklyn. They usually go up and down the court as well, because they're young kids, and they have a lot of young kids playing right now. So it'll be a nice, interesting game to watch. I think that there's definitely some value plays here within the two teams. You could probably use 5 or 6 players from this game alone, and be able to incorporate a couple of studs from one of the other two more exciting playoff atmosphere games. OKC Houston is probably the game of the night. Okay, I would say it's the game of the night simply because OKC needs to win this game. Oklahoma City is only a half game ahead of Minnesota, and only a full game ahead of Denver, and Denver is on the heels of both of them. And I truly feel right here, I'm a New Yorker. I live in New York. I'm a Knicks fan, and unfortunately, but Denver, I'm a basketball fan, sports fan, in general, period. And Denver really deserves the way they've been playing as of late, and the effort they're putting forward. They deserve to make the playoffs, and I think they're going to get in. And I think one of these teams, either San Antonio, OKC, or Minnesota, is going to miss out. I think Denver is going to get in here, and OKC needs to step it up. And I tell you something right now: if OKC does not step up tonight, and there's not a big game from Russell, George, and Carmelo Anthony, the big three there, I can see that being the beginning of the end of the big three. And at the same time, I see OKC maybe slipping out of this, because they might just be so dejected after this loss if they lose tonight, and especially if they lose bad. that I don't see them recovering from it. I've seen it enough from teams over the years watching sports, in every sport, team sport, where some teams just look good one day and then all of a sudden they just don't play well towards the end of the season, and that's it. They flop. They just kind of like give up. They kind of give out and give up on themselves and start finger pointing and so on and so forth. So I can see that happening here, but if they come out and they get a good win here in Houston today, then they're still in the running for sure. But if they lose, I can see this being a beginning to the end of them not making the playoffs. I really see that happening. All right, New Orleans at Golden State. Good game here as well. Golden State is going to have at least 3 out of their 4 guys. They should be, Durant should be playing, Green as well as Clay. Obviously, we know Steph is not in the game yet. Hopefully, by playoff time, maybe at some point he might be able to play. The bottom line here is New Orleans needs to continue to win as well. New Orleans is right now the 5th seed, but they are pretty much tied with San Antonio and OKC. So we know OKC needs to win tonight to stay afloat, and we need the Pelicans. And either one of those two lose, then we could see some serious trouble among the teams. And New Orleans, they're in a more dangerous spot here simply because they lost DeMarcus Cousins. If they had Cousins still in here, they probably would be, seeded 3rd or 4th in here. I mean, they could have been that good enough, but it's not going to happen. But the good thing is that they still have a shot to be in the playoffs. I think they'll still get in. They need this game, so they're definitely an interesting game, a game that you can target as well. Portland, San Antonio, another one. Lillard is not a game time decision now, so I mean, definitely he's in play. Portland's in play. San Antonio needs this game. They're another one. So we got New Orleans, San Antonio, and OKC, all 3 of them needing wins tonight. So these games are all important for these 3 teams. I expect them all to play hard. If any one of them ends up getting blown out or gets beaten here, or 2 or 3 of these guys get beaten, then you can see Denver just walking right in and possibly moving all the way up to the 6th seed by the time they finish their next game, which would be beautiful. So we'll see what happens, man. But that's basically it. That's the recap of today's games. Let's move on. Let's go to the games at hand here. I do have, like I showed you guys yesterday, I use Fantasy Cruncher to put my players together, my player pool. As you can see, my player pool is 54 players. There's 101 players playing tonight in that 5-game slate. These are the guys I'm targeting at point guard. As you can see, there is a game time decision notice here, day to day on Lillard. We know already by going to Fanduel that he is okay, as you can see here. All right, so he's definitely in play, guys. I mean, I'm just gonna try to go through this real quick because I know my videos have been a little long. Which guys I'm targeting today? My favorite plays of the day. I'm basically just going to shoot out to you and let you go know my favorite plays of the day. Narrowing down these like 14, 15 players. Shabazz Napier is definitely out now because now we know that Lillard, after going into FanDuel, he is in play today. So Westbrook, Lillard, Bledsoe, Paul, Raja, Rondo, and I would say those are the top 5, okay, today. Out of all those guys, my favorite play is Bledsoe. I think Bledsoe needs to step up. No Giannis, playing New York. They need to get in. I like Bledsoe as my point guard for today. All right, so I'm letting you know point blank. I'm not going to go over statistics. I've done it already a number of times. You guys know. Okay, Bledsoe is in play here. I think Bledsoe is the best play here. But, again, that's my opinion. Westbrook is in play. Lillard is in play. Paul is in play. And like I said, I like Rondo. There's a couple of guys there. All right, shooting guard today. Here goes my list. As you can see, I've narrowed it down to about 14 or 15. There are some value plays here, which I'll touch back on in a moment. My favorite play here, out of all these guys, obviously Harden's in play, Middleton, Holiday, okay, McCollum, all right, and that's basically it out of the big dogs. All right, let's put it that way. The favorite play here, obviously, is still Middleton. Playing New York, as you can see, they're 24th overall defending the shooting guard. All right, Middleton to me is definitely in play, guys. Let's look at him a little bit further. We have him here, 3 out of his last 4 games. He's lit it up: 44, 49, 51 fantasy points. Look at the minutes: 35, 37, 40, and 40. Like I tell you time and time again in my videos, if you get minutes and you get the usage time over 22, 23%, and you take this many shots, you're gonna get fantasy points. Okay. You're going to get fantasy points out of your players, so definitely look into that. I like Middleton today against New York. He had a 35 in his last game, definitely a little bit above value, but he's had 2 subpar undervalued games before that. Okay, but one thing to remember here, guys, and I know it's going to be common sense to you guys, bottom line is Middleton, Milwaukee, they're trying to get into the playoffs. Okay, So we know for a fact what we see here. The last time he played New York was about a month ago. It's more of a priority right now. He needs to step up. He needs to take shots. He needs to be on the floor. His usage time, his floor time, everything is going to be higher. He's going to have to make things happen. He's going to be the key guy other than Bledsoe. So again, I like Middleton today. I know it's a stack between having Bledsoe and Middleton both, where they can end up blowing out this being a blowout. But I think these guys definitely gonna have to take over the game. So that's the only scary thing about the Milwaukee-New York game, is that more than likely it could possibly be a blowout, and we hope it's not. So we hope New York gives them a little bit of a battle, so this way this game can go a lot longer than expected. For these guys to continue being on the court. So that's the only difference there. It's a matter of that. But Harden is in play, facing OKC, 29th overall. I mean, I like his price, 11,000. I think he could definitely do that. He could definitely smash that against OKC. 36 and 35. He did have a 66 game in between that, so he's definitely been off in his last 2 out of 3 games. OKC, he put up a 50 and 67, as you know. See, 50 and 67 guys, 36 and 38 minutes. He's taking enough shots, he's getting on the free throw line. He's hitting some threes. A little off in that 2 games prior to that, 3 of the 11. And then they're good at rebounds. He had 8 rebounds, 14 assists, 5 rebounds, 11 assists. I mean, the guy does a little bit of everything, and sometimes a little bit more than that. So Harden is in play, Middleton's in play, Drew Holiday is another one in play. It says here Golden State is 9th overall. All right, and against Golden State, he's put up good numbers his last 2 outings, 47 and 40, as you can see here. Minutes, 38, 39. Look at that usage rate, almost 29 and 28% respectively. Look at the shots, 21 and 20. He's going to need to do that again today. I love Drew Holiday in this game against Golden State. All right, he is my favorite play of the day here. He's let me down only once all this year. So to me, he's one of my studs for today, other than Middleton. So those are my 2 favorite plays right here. I'm letting you know right now for shooting guard. All right. As a matter of fact, I'll pencil in. Let's put in Drew Holiday, and let's say Bledsoe. All right. There goes your first 2 studs right there, guys. First 2 studs. Go to small forward on my list here. Of course, another nice big list, but it's just gonna, like I said yesterday, when I crunch up my pool, I usually get about half. And then eventually I go over it again. I do a little bit more research, and then it's narrowed down to about 4 or 5, and then I choose my 1 or 2 key players for the day for each position. Personally, I decide over 3 or 4 guys in each position every day. That's how I normally do it. I don't know how anybody else does it out there, but that's the way I do it. So small forward, Durant is in play. Big game for New Orleans. Golden State, they don't necessarily have to play for anything other than pride. Here, they're at home. They want to go out and beat somebody up. They also want to beat somebody that's in a playoff run. So, yeah, I can see KD playing sufficient minutes. Let's just take a quick look to see. He's had 51 plus in 3 straight games. He's playing decent minutes, 32, 35, 34. Look at the usage rate. Oh, my God. In the last 2 games, 43 and 44% respectively. Against New Orleans, 2 games back, he put a 53 spot. His value then was only 96, so at 11,000, he's got to put about 56 up there today, and that's a bit high. So that's the only thing that scares me off, is that his value, his price is a bit steep. Okay, so he's got to get 56 here today. I don't know if he's going to be able to do that. With AD there, I'm sure AD is going to try to defend him. So yeah, tough game for Durant. He's in play. For those guys that feel that he's in play, he is. He's capable of doing it. We know that. They have him projected for 43, so he's not even hitting value. So it's not, to me, that's not a good price. All right, Paul George. Definitely need Paul George today with the OKC Thunder. 7,800. He's priced perfect. I think this is a game that he needs to come through. He did not come through in the last game for them. All right, and it happened to be against Golden State. Now he's got to go up against Houston. Against Houston, he's put up 2 under par value games, 37 and 34 his last 2 outings back in March and in December. He had the minutes, usage rate was okay, he got the shots, he got shots off the threes, he shot the 3 fairly okay, almost 50%, 45%, but everything else is terrible. 37 and 34, I don't know, that's just not enough, So, he's going to need to come off. He's going to need to go off today. If he can do that, that's fantastic. If he's not, it's not going to work out. Here, anybody else here, you know, I mean, I'm not on the big guys today. I think the best place to look at here today is guys like Crab, Kyle Anderson, Rudy Gay, Nwaba, you know, these lower tier guys are definitely some of my favorite plays here in this small forward today for this 5-game slate. I'm willing to pay up at shooting guard with Middleton and Holiday, and as well as either maybe Lillard, Bledsoe, or over here, or even Rondo. Okay, yeah, right there, I'm giving you 3 suggestions. A small forward, you don't have to play George, you don't have to play Durant here. You can definitely do well with even going down as low as Michael Beasley. Let's take a look here on Fanduel. Is Beasley good? From New York, let's see, Beasley game time decision with a knee. So okay, so those numbers don't look too good for Beasley. But if Beasley doesn't play, then forget about Beasley. Think about Alan Crabb. Alan Crabb versus Chicago. He's going to get some time. Chicago, he's played 3 solid games against Chicago. 23, 32, and 33 minutes his last 3 games. This game, this season, in February 26th, he played 23 minutes, which is not a whole lot. I think he's going to be playing more now because obviously we know Damari Carroll is not in the lineup. As you can see, he played 30 minutes his last game against Milwaukee. So, I mean, Crab is in play. 4,900, that is pretty cheap for Alan Crab. Kyle Anderson for San Antonio. San Antonio needs this game, as we all know. Now, he stepped up a little bit, 29, 30 minutes respectively his last 2 games, 26 and 28 fantasy points. All right, he is in for 5,100, so you need about 26, you know, 25, 26. He's capable of doing that. I kind of like Rudy Gay better. I think, look at Rudy Gay. I mean, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5 out of his last 7 games. That's hit value. All right, against Portland, his last outing was back in December. December, that is too far back. Like I mentioned yesterday, when I look at this, I don't bother with that anymore. I look at how he's playing right now. And right now, he's getting a little bit of. I don't agree with these minutes, you know. And I've said this before in other videos. I don't know what Pop is thinking, but you know, 24 minutes here, 18, 15, 24, 20. I mean, he's not getting more than 24 minutes. If this guy gets on the court, and I've said it before a couple of days back, if he's able to play 25 to 30 minutes, he'll help this team more. Rudy Gay is more than capable. He's a very talented basketball player, and for him not to be on the court as much as he should be, especially now that they need him more. I like him better than Kyle Anderson. So, I mean, if Rudy Gay gets 25 to 30, I think he's a good play at 4,900, guys. All right? So I like Rudy Gay here. David Nwaba has been playing as of late, so we'll look at what he's done as of late. He's played 26 minutes, 31 minutes in his last 2 games, respectively. He did have a down game against Boston, 18 fantasy points, but he did put up a 30 spot prior to that. All right? 5 of 9 shooting, you know, only 10 points. Today, you know, he's going up against Brooklyn, you know, a fast-paced game. You see, as you can see here, no Carroll. I like Crab better than Nwaba, but Nwaba is in play at 5,600. All right, we'll look at him a little bit further. Yeah, 26-31. He put up 18 fantasy and 30 and then 29. So he is capable. He has an upside of at least 35. So he's definitely a good play today at 5,600. You need about 26. I like Crab better at that 4,900. You need only about 24, 25. So I mean, and I think Mr. Crab can do that as long as he gets the time. When we get here, he's been sporadic with his minutes, but 30 minutes in his last game. Look at that, 25-7 against Milwaukee, put up a 38 spot. So one of my favorite plays here will be Crab, and like I said, I love Rudy Gay here if he's able to get the minutes. As a matter of fact, let's put in here. I'm gonna go with Crab today here. Third guy here. All right, guys. So you got Alan Crabb, Drew Holiday. Okay, Drew and Bledsoe so far. Let's go to power forward. Power forward, the plays of the day. Obviously, you know, the top dogs are all in play here. Davis, Aldridge, Green, Hollis Jefferson. Those 4 are definitely all in play. I like all 4 of them. All 4 of them are in good situations. All right. Davis is going up against the 21st ranked Golden State Warriors. He needs to put up 58. Okay, he has 12,800, very expensive. He needs to put up about this range here. 65 in his last game against Phoenix, 34 minutes. His usage rate was 32, took 23 shots. As you can see, his previous games, 13, 17, and 19, 24, 22, 20. I mean, he's taking shots. He knows what he needs to do. He's getting the rebounds. He's getting the minutes. His usage rate is great. I like AD here. They need to step it up. He needs to step it up. He knows he's got to get this team over the hump here. So Anthony Davis is definitely in play, a good play for today. If you want to pay up out of all the studs, I would prefer to pay for Anthony Davis today because of the situation they're in. So guys, remember that. All right, look at the situation. New Orleans needs to win. All right. LaMarcus Aldridge, another good spot. They need him. He's been carrying the San Antonio Spurs all year. Look at these numbers: 49, 62, 50 in his three previous games. 43, 37, 35 minutes respectively. Look at the usage rate: 21, 28, and 28. Look at the shots. Again, usage rate, minutes, shots: 20, 21, 19, 19, and that will equate to 49, 62, and 50. That's how you do it. He's going to keep putting up these kind of numbers. You got to consider him, and his price is priced perfectly. 9,500. You need about 40, 47, 48. You know, I mean, he's capable of doing it. I like LaMarcus Aldridge today. I like him. He's in a better price range than Anthony Davis for value today. Okay, so I like LaMarcus Aldridge today, guys. I definitely think he's definitely one of the best plays here. Hollis Jefferson has been playing lights out lately. He's been getting the minutes. He put a 44 spot. He had these two mediocre games. He had a dud here where he really didn't play a whole lot of minutes. But, you know, surprisingly, last game, 37 minutes. But, man, he got all this here because of his rebounding, and then he had 4 blocks. That's how he got those fantasy points. But this is what he does. He can block. He can steal. You know, he does a little bit of everything here and then. And then, of course, he's able to score on certain nights, and he's able to get on the foul line, and he's able to rebound quite well. So, you know, what we need from him. He is valued at, what is his price? Power forward, Hollis Jefferson, 7,200, so that's 35, about 36. You need 36 from Hollis. You need 36 from Mr. Jefferson. Facing Chicago, who really is not that good. Let's see the last time he played Chicago. Wow, he hasn't had good numbers against Chicago. But I'm not going to let that make me decide that he is not a good play today. Okay? Only 21 minutes. He did have a good usage rate, but only took 9 shots in this game. This was back on February 26th. It is not of importance. What's important is he is getting minutes and getting time on the floor now. Especially ever since Carroll got hurt, he's obviously getting more touches. So I like Mr. Jefferson. Draymond Green in play, 25th rank. New Orleans Pelicans. He has not looked good at all in 5. Look at this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of his last 6 games has not met value. He'll probably turn it up soon. His last time against New Orleans, he did put up 56. That was back in December, though. Shootout of the game: 125, 115. It may be that again today. 38 minutes, 6 of 12 from the field, 3 of 5 from the arc, 4 of 5 from the foul line, and then he had 9 rebounds and 7 assists, 4 steals, 2 blocks. He did a little bit of everything. That's why you got 56. Yeah, he's not overwhelmed. He's not going to go out there and score 25, 30 points. He's going to do a little bit of everything, and that's what Draymond does best. I can see him. He's a good play here today. 7,800. He's to me, that's cheap. You know, I mean, that's my opinion. He's a little cheap. So, guys, definitely Draymond Green is in play. Jabari Parker, New York Knicks, 24th rank against the 4. 29 and 55 in his last 2 out of 3 games. He's hit value. Against the Knicks, pretty dreadful. 23, 15, and 15. 23, 20, and 14 respectively in minutes. Didn't take a whole lot of shots, but respectable. 5 of 8, 4 of 9, 4 of 7. Different situation right now. The last time he played the Knicks was back on March 9th, and right now they're down to the last 3 games of the season for them. So, you know, they're in a desperate mode. So Jabari Parker, I see him getting a lot of minutes, and especially if Beasley don't play today, man, he is definitely a lock for me, you know, as far as a value. At 6,200 is not a value play, but 6,200 you can squeeze him, you can get him in there in the lineup and be able to have 1 or 2 studs with no problem. So I think he's in play. He's in play, definitely. Other than that, I mean, you know, Aminu is in play, guys. Carmelo Anthony against Houston, like I said before, they need the big 3 to come through tonight for OKC. He did play 36 minutes in his last game, put up 23 fantasy points. He is valued at 5,600, so you need about 26 from Carmelo. He's averaging 27. Don't like place averaging. It's gonna pretty much about average range. Let's dig in a little deeper more on Carmelo. Houston is 10th overall against 4. And let's see how he has done against Houston. Yeah, pretty much that's about his average, 27, 26 against Houston. He would need to have a big game today. He would need to hit some threes. You know, 4 of 10 the last time out, only 8 of 18 from the floor. He got shots. the last time he played Houston a month ago. But he just didn't hit at a high percentage, 8 of 18 and 4 of 10 from 3. If he was to convert a little bit more and a little bit more, have a hot game and convert 50% or better of his shots from the floor and from the arc, there's a good chance that that would be an awesome play here. I think I'm going to squeeze him in some of the lineups. Something tells me Carmelo is going to, he steps up for big games. We know that he's had some games in big games where he has not been good, but me being him from being a former Knick, there were times that he definitely came up big for us in pressure situations. And I think today, Mr. Russell Wilson, Westbrook, as well as Paul George are going to need his help. So definitely consider Carmelo today as well. And here we go. Down at the bottom here, I don't see too many value plays. I mean, Mr. Looney has played a few minutes. You can definitely consider Meritic. Nico has been playing pretty darn well lately. 27 minutes and 35 minutes. But again, that was against Phoenix and against Memphis. Poor defending teams. Today, Houston is a little more respectable. Golden State, excuse me. Well, maybe not so. He's playing Golden State. Golden State is 21st overall. So, 55, 35, and 32, 3 out of his last 4. Against Golden State, a 44 spot. The last time he played him, that was back in January. He shot well, 9 of 13. If he shoots well, he's going to put up points. That's what they bought him there for. They're going to need him there today. I mean, that's why he came to New Orleans. That's why they made the trade. They needed some more offense, some guys that could shoot off from 3-point range, and he was he was considered one of the better ones, better guys out there that could do that, and that's why they pulled the trigger and made this trade. He needs to step up today. I think he will. I think New Orleans is going to play well today. They're going to need him. They're going to need Anthony Davis, and they're going to need Drew Holiday, and even Rondo is going to have to step up. So an interesting game today. Well, that's basically it with the power forwards. We go to center. Not a whole lot of guys there to choose from. I mean, Nurkic, Capella, Adams, and O'Quinn are the key guys there. On the lower end, Allen and Gasol. I don't know where Allen and Gasol. I know Allen's going to get some time against Chicago. Could be a good play. Let's take a look at Allen real quickly here. Chicago is the worst out of all these guys defending against the center. He did have a 33 spot in his last game against Milwaukee. Obviously, Milwaukee not having a strong center there. That's one of the reasons why. Chicago is in that same position. The last time he played Chicago, he put up a 39. So you know what? He is in play for me. I'm going to look in a little further on him and some other stuff when I finish up here. But guys, I think he's in play. 5,300. You need 26, 27 from him. He's capable of doing it. He's done it before against Chicago and Brooklyn. They like I said, they like that fast-paced team. Got a lot of young kids that like to run. So this is going to be an interesting game. Out of the guys that are here, obviously, Nurkic is probably one of the best plays, even though he's facing San Antonio, who's considered a respectable defensive team against the 5. You have 3 games that he did not hit value, and then he did have a 36 spot against them the last time he played them. That was back in January. 30 minutes, 7 of 15 from the floor. When he plays and he doesn't get into foul trouble, he's fine. The only problem with him is him getting into foul trouble. So the longest now he's not playing against Steven Adams. If they were battling each other, then I'll be scared. I wouldn't even bother touching them. Because these guys, when they get together, that's what happens. Same thing here with Capella and Adams today. I think the best play here is to go with to pay up in the other positions, at least in my opinion, guys, and then basically choose to go with Allen or O'Quinn, whose value has gone up. But Kyle O'Quinn has been playing fantastic for the Knickerbockers in the absence of Cantor's back problems. 44, 40, and 31 respectively in his last 3 outings. That's the only thing I care about, because we know if we look here and we check to see how he's done against Milwaukee, he's only played Milwaukee once, and that was last month, and that was probably a day where he only had 17 minutes. So that means he was coming off the bench for Cantor, and he put up these numbers. And now he's actually starting and playing. So big difference. I like Kyle Quinn. I've played him twice during this stretch here. I played him yesterday and I played him on the 3rd, and these are the numbers he put up for me. I'm going to roll with him. I'm probably going to put him in my matter of fact. Let's just punch him in there right now. Punch him in there right now. We're going with Kyle O'Quinn today, New York with Milwaukee. All right? So power forward, let's go back to power forward for a moment. Who am I? I don't know. Something tells me LaMarcus Aldridge is going to have a game. So I'm going to go with Aldridge. You guys build your team around these guys here. There's a couple good value plays. Let's go to point guard real quick. Point guard, Mr. Burke is not bad. Rondo is not a bad spot. But we go a little bit more. Jaren Grant has been playing well as of late for Chicago. He's been getting some minutes. Look at that, a 43 spot just yesterday against Boston. Yeah, you throw in there Jaren Grant. All right, let's just throw him in there just for the heck of it. Now look what we got. We still got 5,600. We got Bledsoe and Grant in the backcourt. Then you just build another team. Go here, shooting guard. What else we got here? And you know, this is just messing around here, guys. I mean, you go and you look and you Karis LeVert, good spot, 5,900, perfect for this spot here. Okay, Danny Green, 4,900. All right, Justin Holiday's been getting minutes now back in the Chicago rotation. 30 minutes last night, 27 in the last 2 games respectively. Not too bad numbers. So you know, you got him as a value play. You go to small forward. Okay. You got Nuwaba, all right, 5,600. He's been playing. Okay, this is why I told you, right? That Chicago game and Brooklyn game, there comes some guys you can get for value. 26 and 31 minutes. You're getting minutes. So long as you can find somebody that's going to give you minutes, and he's capable of being a good GPP play, like Nuwaba, who's capable of putting 30, 35, okay, at that price range. Why not? Right? You got Kyle Anderson at 5,100. You got Rudy Gay, my favorite play here other than Mr. Crab. You know I'm going to put him in this lineup. Right? So they got Rudy Gay, 4,900, right? You could consider Gerald Green here. He let me down the last time. I put him as a stud. I expect him to do well. He put 26 minutes. He only put up a dreadful 10.6 fantasy points. So you know I'm not going to him again. I would say, let me go to the well again and go with Mr. Green, but probably not. Maybe we'll see when I do all my bunch of lineups. But right now, you know, there is some plays here. There's some plays. You got Harris here. He's been playing well enough. All right. Getting minutes, 29, 21, and 29. Okay, so Joe Harris. All right, and I would say in the lower half here, Darius Miller is getting minutes, and as well as Solomon Hill. Solomon Hill's been getting minutes, 15, 23, and 13, 21. So a little sporadic. So I'll be a little concerned with going with him. Maybe Darius Miller will get a little bit more at 3,600. 31, 23, 27, 29, definitely, and he's capable of an upside of as much as 25. He's averaging 13 on the year. So there goes another value play. All right, go to power forward. Value plays here. You got Henson. You got Aminu at 5,700. You got Markkanen. Okay, Anthony Murchik. I mean, there's guys here, guys. Okay, so I set you up pretty well. If you take Jaren Grant, you don't want him, you find somebody else. But 55, 75, you got a couple of plays. Okay, and I already gave you my favorite plays. You definitely could consider Looney, Murchik, Carmelo Anthony, okay, Markkanen. Let's see where Markkanen is at. 23, 24, 24, 24 points, 20, 24, 23, 13. He has been on a big roll lately. Markkanen, 5,700, folks. Cheap. You could throw him in this lineup right here, or any lineup you want. So again, there are some plays here. Center, like I said, if you're not paying for Nurkic or Capello or Adams, then go with Kyle O'Quinn or Jared Allen. Maybe even Pau Gasol, but that's about it. Those are the key guys there, guys. Basically, that's it, folks, man. There goes the stuff 5 that I made for you guys right there, live, right in front of you. Bledsoe, Holiday, Crab, Aldridge, and Kyle O'Quinn. You can build your teams around it. You can mix and match any way you want. I gave you, and I'm going to show you again real quickly. I gave you my pools, 54 players. Like you see, here goes my centers. Here goes my power forwards that I was considering. That obviously has been narrowed down to only 3 or 4. There goes my small forwards, shooting guards that I was considering with the value plays, and of course my stud point guards with some value plays. And I touched on some of those guys. So that's basically it, guys. This is the video for today, man. I mean, I hope you like the video. Please give it a thumbs up. If you want to comment anything down below, if you want to discuss anything, man, just comment it down below. I mean, I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. I'm going to go over now my Major League Baseball stuff. Just remember that starting Thursday, I will be giving, I think I'm going to just do 18 to 20 man list of my pool of players that I'm considering in playing that day instead of doing a stud 5. I really want to change it up. I was hoping to get some feedback from you guys, but I haven't really had anybody touch on it. If anybody prefers to still get a stud 5 when it comes to the Major League Baseball, I'll continue to do that. But if you like the idea of me switching it up, I was thinking for MLB, and I'll say it again here now, is I was thinking of giving you a core 18 to 20 players, or a pool list of 18 to 20 players that I'm looking at. Obviously, I'll show you my list of pool players. They're usually going to be 40 to 50 players in any event that I do, and then I'm also be willing to narrow that down to, like I said, 18 to 20 players, and share with you the top 18, 20 plays I think are good for that slate for that day. So I mean, and just remember that with the MLB, anytime there's only 2 or 3 games in the slate, or maybe even as minimal as 4, there won't be a top 18, 20 list. I'll probably just do a video and share with you some of the key plays I'm looking at, and basically that would be it. But again, guys, like the video, comment down below. If you haven't subscribed, sorry about that. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it. And again, good luck tonight. God bless, and your boy Manny is out.